Two people, same income, same city and same bills, but one of them is slowly building wealth and the other one is one emergency away from losing everything. And the difference between them has nothing to do with how much they make. You see, most of us were never taught that the way you live determines the wealth you build. We were taught to work hard, earn more, spend less, but nobody ever gave us the actual rules. These small, simple decisions that quietly separate the people who build wealth from the people who just survive month to month. What's up, everyone? I'm Fawani. I'm a former budget analyst who served on active duty with the Coast Guard and worked for the US government. I'm now on a mission to teach personal finance to hardworking adults just like you so you can take control of your money. The people I've seen completely transform their finances don't have bigger salaries. They have better rules. Rules for what they buy, rules for what they keep, and rules for how they spend their time and their attention. So today I'm giving you the 10 minimalist rules that I believe every person trying to build real financial stability needs to hear. These aren't rules just for minimalists. These are rules for anybody who is tired of working hard and having nothing to show for it. So if you've ever looked at your account at the end of the month and wondered where it all went, then drop same in the comment right now, because you are not alone and this video is for you, my friend. Rule number 1 is to own fewer things than you think you need. There is something that nobody tells you when you're standing at the register. The price tag is not the real cost. Think about the last big thing you bought. Do you think about the maintenance, the storage, or the mental energy that it takes to manage it? Because everything you own has a hidden cost that goes way beyond what you paid for it. The more clothes that you own, the more decisions you have to make every single morning about what you're going to wear. The more stuff you have in your house, the more overwhelmed you feel just walking into a room. And that decision fatigue bleeds into your finances as well. So here's what I want you to think about. What if everything in your garage or in your storage unit just evaporated? Would you be devastated or would you actually feel relief? Because if the honest answer is relieved, then that's telling you something really important about the stuff that you're holding on to. Before you buy anything, just ask yourself the real cost, not just the sticker price, the maintenance, the storage, and the attention and time as well. Rule number 2 is buy nice or buy twice. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Fawani, you just told me to spend less. So stay with me real quick, because this rule is going to save you serious money in the long run. Being intentional about your money doesn't mean being cheap, because cheap is actually one of the most expensive things you can be. Let me give you the math on this. You buy a low quality pair of shoes for $25. 3 months later, you're standing in front of your trash can, and then after that, you're back at the store again. And by the end of the year, you've spent $150 on 3 pairs of shoes. It's best to spend $100 on a quality pair of shoes up front. That is going to save you money and help you look good at the same time. Or think about it this way. You buy a cheap bed from Walmart for $400 because you don't want to spend $800 on a better one. A year later, it's all broken and you're sleeping on the mattress. The rule here is simple. Buy the best quality you can actually afford right now and buy nice so you don't have to buy twice. Rule number 3 is if it's not a yes, then it's a no. This rule changed everything for me, and I want you to apply it to every single purchase you make. Here's what happens when you let maybe and it's pretty good and I mean it's not bad into your life. You end up with a closet full of clothes you never wear, a garage full of stuff you forgot you owned, and a bank account that reflects every single one of those lukewarm decisions. Think about the last thing you bought that you felt meh about in the store. Are you using it right now, or is it sitting somewhere collecting dust? That meh feeling in the store is your gut telling you the truth, and your gut is trying to protect your wallet, my friend. So the rule is, if you pick something up and you don't feel immediately excited about it, put it back, because when you hold that standard for everything you bring into your life, you stop having buyer's remorse, you stop having clutter, and you almost stop shopping altogether because you already have everything you already need and love. So if it doesn't make you say absolutely yes, then it's a no, period. Rule number 4 is going to feel uncomfortable, and that is delay every non-essential purchase. We live in a world that is specifically designed to make you buy things right now. One-click checkout, buy now, pay later, flash sales that end in 47 minutes, and all of it is designed to remove the gap between wanting something and buying it. Here is what I want you to do. Anytime you see something you want that is not a necessity, put it on the list and then set it and forget it for at least 24 hours. If it's a bigger purchase, then give yourself a full week. And here's what you're going to find. A huge percentage of the things you want in the moment, you're not even going to think about them a week later. That feeling is not really a need and is simply a trigger. And marketers are very, very good at pulling those triggers. The moments that you're scrolling on TikTok and you feel a certain urge to buy something that you had no intention of buying 5 minutes ago, that's marketers doing what they do best and messing with your attention. So if the purchase is not something you really need, then don't be quick to add it to cart or even click on it. Rule number 5 sounds simple and it's widely effective, and that is everything you own needs a home. If something does not have a designated place in your home, then it's going to end up on your counter, on your floor, or on that chair. You know, that chair that everybody has, and it's going to create chaos. And a chaotic space creates a chaotic mind. And a chaotic mind makes bad financial decisions. But here is the financial side of this rule that most people completely miss. If something doesn't have a home in your house, then it probably does not belong in your house at all. Because if you can't find a place for it in your home, then you can't find a reason to justify owning it in the first place. When everything has a place and everything goes back to that place, then you're going to stop losing things. You're going to stop buying duplicates of things you already own because you couldn't find the first one. Do you know how much money people spend replacing things they already own? It adds up faster than you think. So have a place for everything. It keeps your space clear, your mind clear, and your spending intentional. Rule number 6 is the one that gets people right when they think they're finally getting ahead, and that is lifestyle inflation. And I need you to pay close attention here. So let's say you get a raise. Your salary goes up by $800 a month. You would think that means you're $800 a month better off, right? But then you upgrade your apartment, you upgrade your car, you start going to fancier restaurants, you refresh your wardrobe because you earned it, right? And then suddenly your expenses have gone up by $750 a month, but your net worth didn't move, not even a little. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the most silent wealth killers out there because it feels like progress. You're making more money, you're living better, but if your expenses grow every time your income grows, you're never going to have a surplus. You're always going to be one emergency away from being completely broke no matter how much you make. So the next time you get a raise, a bonus, a tax refund, or any type of income increase, ask yourself one question before you spend a single dollar. Can I save or invest this instead? So make sure that you're protecting your surplus because that surplus is your future. Speaking of protections, rule number 7 is to protect your attention like it's money. Because it is. Marketers are not your friends like I mentioned before. And I say that with love because I need you to understand how this works. Every influencer post, every limited time offer sitting in your inbox has one goal, and that is to get you to spend money that you were not planning to spend on something that you don't even need. And they are very, very good at it. The moment you're surfing the internet and you feel that sudden urge to buy something you had no intention of buying, know that somebody is messing with your attention, and your attention is directly connected to your wallet. So here is what I want you to do. Unsubscribe from marketing emails. Unfollow accounts that make you feel like you need to buy things to keep up, and turn off one-click purchasing. Remember that if you don't see it, you're not gonna want it. And if you don't want it, you're not gonna buy it. And if you don't buy it, you keep your money in your pocket. Rule number 8 is to track your net worth. Most people track what they spend, and very few people track what they're actually worth. Your net worth is simple. Everything you own minus everything you owe. And that number should be going up every single month. Here is the question I want you to ask yourself every single time you're about to make a purchase. Is this going to add to my assets or subtract from them? For example, a new couch subtracts from your net worth. An investment account adds to your net worth. A new car subtracts from your net worth. A high-yield savings account adds to your net worth. Not every purchase is going to build your net worth, and that's okay, but you need to be conscious of the ratio. And also, stop wearing your net worth. Stop decorating yourself with money that could have been building your future. True wealth is not what people see on you. True wealth is what is quietly growing for you. So build it and don't wear it. If you've never calculated your net worth before, then do it today, okay? Even if the number scares you. Now, rule number 9 is to build financial systems so you don't rely on willpower. Willpower is unreliable. I don't care how disciplined you are. Willpower is gonna run out. Life gets hard, you get tired, you get stressed, and when that happens, willpower is always the first thing to go. So build systems instead. Automate your savings, automate your investments, set up your budget so that when your paycheck hits, the money is already allocated before you ever see it. You shouldn't have to decide to save every single month. It should just happen, because if you're just waiting to save whatever is left at the end of the month, there's going to be nothing left. That, my friend, is just the truth. Rule number 10 is to value your time over your status. This is the last rule, and I want you to really sit with this one, okay? A lot of the money that we spend, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, is not really for us. It's for other people. The new phone, the designer bags, the car in the driveway, the big house in the perfect neighborhood, or the luxury apartment. Part of it is for you, but a big part of it is so that people can see that you're doing well. And this is the brutal truth about that. The people you're trying to impress are too busy trying to impress other people to even notice. And in the meantime, you're spending real money, money that could be buying you real freedom, on status symbols that depreciate the moment you buy them. Remember that looking average is the best wealth building strategy available to you right now. The less time and money you spend trying to impress other people, the more you actually have to build something real. So here's the bottom line. The gap between the person who is building wealth and the person who is always broke is not income. It is intention. It is systems. And it's a set of quiet rules that most people never get taught. Here is your action step for today. Pick one rule from this list and implement it this week. If this video helped you see your money differently, then share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that subscribe button, because every single week, I'm here helping everyday families take control of their money and build real financial stability. I'm Fawani, and you got this.